I can only do one thing, which is deny that part of me. Deny the existence that I actually feel weak. I cannot be that, is what the program would say. I cannot accept this. So I would push it away. I would demonize it. I would try and destroy it. But underneath that part of me, all it needs is my compassion, is the way of compassion. And the more that every time this sensation shows up, I can embrace it and activate what the way of compassion is and just offer. I mean, just feel like, what would it mean to offer compassion to myself? How much grace, space, and divinity is there when I'm able to do that? All of my programming and brainwashing, though, just wants to do the opposite, wants to force it away, wants to push it away, wants to run from this feeling. And the only way that I'm ever going to change and evolve, and this is what I've had to teach this part of me, is by learning to embrace it. Day 7, the way of compassion. Now, this is a way that I have had to learn a lot about and will continue to learn a lot about, because I lack a lot of compassion, especially for myself. And one of the ways that I've had to really transform and evolve my understanding of what compassion is because of all the weakness and the emotional fragility and the powerlessness that lived within me. And this was obviously particular programs I inherited from parents, from childhood. But I really thought that compassion was pity, sympathy. And I didn't understand like what the difference was between wanting to take someone else's pain away and having that like feeling sorry for them because they're going through something, and actual compassion, like what the way of compassion actually is. It took me a long time to make that shift and understand it, like from an inner heartfelt space. What does it actually mean to show up for myself and for others with compassion? And the biggest shift that I learned has been when I'm in the energy of I want to take their pain away, I don't have the power to simply be in presence with them. I can't simply just honor their pain right here, right now, without wanting to change it or make it go away. If I'm not there, I'm not vibrating anywhere close to what actual compassion is. And it's taken a while of healing all of the different layers of weakness. Now, there's a quote that Rachel said when I first found her, like nearly 5 years ago now: "Weak people don't heal, warriors do." And that shook me. It shook me to my core. And I was like, fuck, that's powerful. What the heck does that mean? Weak people don't heal? And then, that opens the door for that triggered weak part of you being like, you're calling me weak, you're judging. No, feel the energy. Weak people don't heal as a truth, as a matter of fact. Because weak people don't know how to love themselves. Powerful people do. People with compassion are not weak. And this is where in patriarchy there's been a huge like distortion of all this stuff. I was watching the show The Last Airbender season 1. If you've seen season 2, don't tell me I've not seen it yet. I know it just hit Netflix, but I've been watching that show like this year, and the main character, like rival, the kind of like the bad guy, the bad son who is trying to get the last airbender, he's been programmed from his family that not to have emotions and not to be weak, and to show compassion and have empathy is weakness. And that can't exist in the world, and that needs to be taken out. And this is literally the world that we live in, where we're so brainwashed to think that weakness means feeling emotion. And it's so ironic because that is completely inverted. The weak thing to do is not feel your emotion. And this gets flipped upside down, and we get brainwashed to think that having emotions is weak. Whereas what is weak is actually running away from your emotions, suppressing your emotions, denying them, dismissing them. That's true weakness. When you actually allow yourself to feel what's in there, that's power, right? Being weak is running away from what you feel, not allowing yourself to feel everything that's in there. And so when I used to be a lot more emotionally weak, I didn't have the ability to sit in presence with another being or myself to simply just honor and be present with their pain. I did not have that ability. I didn't have that power. And this isn't to shame or judge myself. It's just what I inherited. These were the programs that I absorbed and what developed over my childhood. I didn't know how to detach from the weakness and actually go into the pain, the different emotions, the shame, the grief, the loss, all these different things that I needed to feel. Even the sensation of being weak itself. I didn't know how to feel that weakness and simply just love it. So because I was disconnected from the feminine power that we all are, because I had gone through that, which we all do to some degree, that severing process here in this realm, I did not have the ability to love what was coming up, to love that weakness. And there's been many times throughout my journey of healing this far, where I found parts of me that are just feel like a fawn, just frozen in fear, feeling really weak, really powerless, just like a frail body, like a pile of bones just laying on the floor. Every time that I fast, this sensation normally comes up, and it's a sensation that I've spent most of my life running from. As soon as I would stop eating food, I would get drained and I would feel so weak. It would be like climbing a mountain, just if I'd not eaten for, till like lunchtime, just to be able to move one leg. All this emotional weakness would come up, and that needed my compassion. And I just did not know how to activate that level of my divinity. And as far as I felt and understood, like, because yesterday we were talking about connection, now we're talking about compassion. This is where like the true transformational power of the feminine can come online and start to really heal. Like when we learn how to give compassion to ourselves, which means, we're willing to just sit and be with the pain that's here and bring this beautiful connection and presence and loving energy to our pain. When we're able to do that, that's what really starts to bring the process of transformation. And I've really felt this in my own self and in my own life, that when I am going through, whether it's weakness, emotional weakness that's coming up, or just the sensation of feeling weak, or there's pain, or there's grief, or there's loss, when I'm able to simply learn how to just connect to that part of me, to sit in presence with it and not make it go away, and not feel sorry for myself for having that pain, not feel sorry for myself for feeling weak, but to simply just honor the weakness for what it is. Oh, I do feel weak. Cool, let me just be with that and honor that, and let me love that part of me. Let me activate this level of my divinity, this compassion, and let me bring that to the pain. That's when I've started to really feel changes within myself, of parts of me that just were always hiding in the dark. And I'd always had this general sense of inside of me, I could feel that there was this part of me that was a warrior. There was this part of me that felt strong. There was this part of me that knew I'm not that. But then there were these other parts of me that also did feel really weak. And I rejected those parts of me. I did not know how to simply be compassionate for that part of me. So what did I learn in this patriarchy world? Suppress, destroy, kill that part of me off. Just like I was sharing with that last Airbender example. That brainwashing from patriarchy, from especially other men, is oh, you don't know what to do with this pain? Well, destroy it, kill it, rip it out, get rid of it. And the more that I've learned that I do that, all I'm doing is locking that very energy, the very thing that I despise, the weakness that I hate in me, I'm locking it in. By trying to kill it or push it away or deny its existence, I'm not facing the truth of how I'm really showing up and what I really feel. And so this weakness has lived within me my entire life. And it's taken me back so many times. I've done past lives. I've been locked away in towers. I've been starving in cells, in prison cells in past lives. But it normally in this lifetime dates back to me feeling some level of weakness in the womb. And me, for whatever reason, maybe being cut off from different, just feeling like I'm cut off because I think my mum's stressed and she's moving through her emotional experiences, and I all of a sudden don't have this life force energy for whatever reason. And I feel just like this frail weakness as just a fetus in the womb. And I've done a lot of sessions and a lot of different healing, like internal shifts, where I've gone in and just simply loved this part of me. And every time I do, I come out of it, I'm like, wow, I can't believe I've been carrying this sensation of weakness. And I've believed it was me. That's the wild part. It's like this weak part of me that I've rejected for so long. I've always pushed it away because I just did not know how to be with it. I did not know how to love the pain of feeling weak. And as a man, I'm not supposed to be weak. I'm supposed to be strong. And every movie that I've watched, it's like the man is always strong. And so anything that resembles weakness, I learned to deny. I learned to reject. I learned to push it away, that I can't accept and embrace that part of me, because if it did, it mean that it would be true. And the last thing that I ever want to feel is being inferior and weak, because then that means I'm not a man. And the irony is that to become a real man is to actually embrace every single part of us. If I feel weak, embrace that part of me. If I feel inferior, embrace that part of me. And because of where I was for most of my life, I did not have the ability to hold two truths up at the same time and understand that I don't have to solely believe if what I'm feeling is weak, if that's my only experience, if all I know is that reality. I don't know how to at the same time feel the connection to my heart. I don't know how to feel compassion and weakness at the same time. That was beyond my comprehension. So because I don't have the ability to hold those two things within inside myself energetically, which is where the transformation occurs, I can only do one thing, which is deny that part of me. Deny the existence that I actually feel weak. I cannot be that, is what the program would say. I cannot accept this. So I would push it away. I would demonize it. I would try and destroy it. But underneath that part of me, all it needs is my compassion, is the way of compassion. And the more that every time this sensation shows up, I can embrace it and activate what the way of compassion is and just offer. Just feel like, what would it mean to offer compassion to myself? How much grace, space, and divinity is there when I'm able to do that? All of my programming and brainwashing, though, just wants to do the opposite, wants to force it away, wants to push it away, wants to run from this feeling. And the only way that I'm ever going to change and evolve, and this is what I've had to teach this part of me, is by learning to embrace it, to learning to be with it, to sit with it, to actually love it. And I found the more that I've been doing that sensation of feeling weak, it's diminishing again and again and again. This healing work doesn't always happen in one particular instance. I've found its many layers of going in and finding more, and getting down to the root, to here I am, I'm at the root, at least for this layer. And I've been working with the way of compassion a lot, and will continue to do so. And it's such a beautiful frequency as far as I've gone. And I think I'm only touching probably level 1, out of these 12 levels of each way. Like I'm only scratching the surface. I know there is so much more, and Rachel, in conversations I've had with her, has alluded to this. There's so much more compassion that I have yet to find, and I look forward to finding it, because I want to become that. And I don't just want to become it for myself, of course I do, but I want to be able to offer that level of divinity and compassion for every single being, every human and every animal on this planet. And that doesn't mean I don't hold boundaries and, say no and set the relevant, boundaries in place when they're needed, compassion isn't just being walked all over. Again, if you want to learn more about what these ways of oneness actually are, Rachel is the teacher of this. Go listen to her, buy the book, go activate the ways of oneness on this free activation series we're doing, and listen to her teachings and understand what these ways are. But the way of compassion, as far as I've understood, this is our transformational power. And this is we as men, this is what we have learned to remove from ourselves, is this level of divinity, which actually opens the door for us to start to transform, which means this is how we actually find freedom in this world. Because if all we learn to do is to destroy and to suppress and reject and close off and not accept ourselves, and we never learn how to be compassionate, we're literally anchoring ourselves into that version of us that believes that about ourselves. And compassion, this opens the door for that part of us to be free. How beautiful would it be for us to all live in a place where, instead of us as men hating and rejecting ourselves for the weakness that lives within us, that we're able to actually offer it what the way of compassion actually is. So that's what I'm working on becoming, especially to these parts of me that feel weak, emotionally weak and powerless, is bringing that level of my divinity to that pain. And when I do, that's where the magic happens. I'll see you tomorrow for the way of harmlessness and gentleness.